What's going on, TTC? Proper English. Hey, so I'm just going to give my little take on the Richard Sherman. I'm not even gonna. Well, I'll talk a little bit about it. The game, we won the game, which is great. That's wonderful. I'm glad we won the game. I was not very proud. I was proud of Richard Sherman. Excuse me. I was proud of Russell Wilson and proud, of Jimmy Graham. The offense played well, with the exception of the offensive line. The offensive line, despite the fact that Russell was able to pretty much go off, he was able to do that despite the poor play of our offensive line. 30 yards rushing, unbelievable. I mean, we obviously didn't take too many attempts at running the ball, but even the attempts that we did get were pedestrian efforts, and that doesn't reflect at all on our running backs. Not on CJ, not on Kristen. Poor blocking, and it bled through to the passing game as well. Thank goodness Russell was healthy enough to be able to, run for his life a bit. But big up to Russell, big up to Jimmy Graham, Doug Baldwin. But the Richard Sherman situation on that kick, because the league is saying that they blew the call. It should have been a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct or personal foul on Richard Sherman. And now, what I think I know, and I think I know what I think I know. Some stuff I know, some stuff I think I know. At first, I was like, no, Sherman was right. Because offsides, if he's offside, you still got to go play through the whistle. And in that case, it should not have been a 15-yard penalty. It shouldn't have been, and it shouldn't have been roughing the kicker. It shouldn't have been a personal foul for unnecessary roughing. It shouldn't have been roughing the kicker because Richard Sherman got his hand on the football. He got his hand on the football, so there is no more roughing the kicker at that point. And it shouldn't have been a personal foul for the same reason. However, after further consideration and thinking about the actual rules, this is what I think I know. Well, here's what the NFL is saying, so this is what we know, apparently, is that it should have been an unnecessary roughness call. Now, that may be the case, but I still disagree with it. And I'm a person who's, when it comes to rules, I'm usually a spirit of the law person, but sometimes I'm a letter of the law person. In this case, the NFL's right. It should have been an unnecessary roughness penalty. But, and I don't want to miss anything. And the reason for that, the reason it should have been an unnecessary roughness call and a 15-yard penalty and so on and so forth, the reason it should have been that has nothing to do with the fact that he hit the kicker. I mean, it does. But it has to do with the fact that he was unabated to the quarterback. Well, unabated to the kicker. Offsides, okay, is not a dead ball foul. Okay? Offsides does not stop the play of the game. Like a false start is a dead ball foul. Offsides or neutral zone infraction is not a dead ball foul. Right? If the ball is able to be snapped despite either one of those two offenses, the play goes on, the penalty is called after the fact. That's not a dead ball foul. However, unabated to the quarterback, which is an extension of offsides, is a dead ball foul. Because if a defender gets too good of a jump, an illegal jump, and gets completely past the line that's supposed to defend the quarterback, that leaves the quarterback as a sitting duck. The refs are supposed to blow that play dead. Unabated to the quarterback is a dead ball foul. So Seahawk apologists, Richard Sherman apologists, listen. unabated to the quarterback is a dead ball foul, which means that as soon as that play was deemed unabated to the quarterback, I keep saying quarterback, unabated to the kicker, the play was dead. And then Richard Sherman hit the guy, which calls for unnecessary roughness, not roughing the kicker. Similar, but not the same. So no matter what Rex Ryan says or anybody else says, either way, it should not have been roughing the kicker. At the most, it should have been unnecessary roughness. That's what it should have been. But watch the replay. The refs did not blow the whistle. How can you sit there and say that you're supposed to penalize a player for playing football and say he was unnecessarily rough, and you never blew the whistle? The whistle was not blown until after Richard Sherman had already sprawled into the damn kicker. What was it, Carpenter or whatever? So the refs were slow on blowing the whistle on the unabated foul. And that's why it should not have been a 15-yard penalty, in my opinion. Now, apparently the rules are otherwise, and that's just the way it is. But if you ask me, how are you going to tell a player who's playing football? Because if in Richard Sherman's mind, he's got to be thinking, okay, I'm offsides. But when you're offsides, you still got to go get the ball. Even if you're offsides, you don't stop playing because you're offsides. You still go get the ball, and then you take your licks after the fact. You know you're offsides that whole play. On any play, when you're offsides, you knew you were offsides from the very get-go. And you still have to go out there and go tackle the guy with the ball or go get the ball, do your job for that play. You don't stop playing. The refs did not blow a whistle, so Richard Sherman kept playing. And not only did the refs not blow the whistle, the kicker and the holder continued with the motion of the play. So Richard Sherman had every reason to continue and do what he was going to do. So for that reason, I don't believe he should have been called for the 15-yard penalty. Again, it's just my opinion, and it would seem obvious that my opinion is not correct because the league is standing behind what they're saying they should have called. But how can you say it should have been something when the refs didn't even blow the whistle? Now, if the refs had blew a whistle before Richard Sherman got to the ball, then I'd be like, okay, all right. But they didn't. There was no whistle blown before Richard Sherman got to the kicker and the holder. So how can you say that it's unnecessary roughness? There were no whistles were blown. Put it like this: if no whistles were blown, okay, if no whistles were blown, and that kicker would have got that kick off, the Bills would be saying, "Whoa, why you start the play? He was offsides. The kick was good." And you two would have took those 3 points off the board because the whistle was blown, Buffalo would have been pissed. So let's keep it in perspective. Buffalo would have been pissed if it worked out the other way. If that ball would have somehow gotten off and went through the uprights, and the ref said, "Sorry, no kick," because the defender was unabated to the kicker, and that's a dead ball foul. We're going to give you 5 yards or even 15 yards for hitting the kicker and let you kick it again. Or give you automatic first down or whatever. Buffalo would have been pissed. Now, they would have had a chance to kick it again, but they would have taken 3 points off the board. So, I don't know, NFL. I can't say that I'm that I'm in agreement. But just given what actually happened in the play, here's what it should have happened. What should have happened, and it didn't happen. The NFL is standing behind what should have happened and standing behind the call saying this is what should have happened. And it's right. This is what should have happened. What should have happened is Richard Sherman should have been called for unabated. Well, he was called for unabated. The whistle should have been blown. And because of the whistle being blown, Sherman either or either not running into the kicker would have meant either the 15 yards or not the 15 yards. Either way, it would have been a penalty on Seattle and a re-kick. Either way. Either they got the automatic first down for the roughing the kicker or for the unnecessary roughness, they still would have had to kick it. So that's what it should have been. But the refs didn't even blow the whistle. The refs didn't even blow the whistle. How you gonna tell a player to stop playing football when the whistle hasn't been blown? So anyway, if anybody thinks I'm wrong, please tell me, but don't just tell me, show me. I don't want to hear anybody going up there talking about, oh no, you're wrong, you're stupid, you're just a fucking Seahawks fanboy, whatever. Don't tell me that. Come on, do me a favor. Tell me why I'm wrong. Show me why I'm wrong. Show me some documentation from the NFL. Show me a rule out of a rule book that's from a legit source. Show me that, because that's what I believe. Anyway, we won though, so it's all good. Go Hawks.